Tonight on First Alert Weather Extra, we've declared your Saturday a First Alert Weather Day for the threat of strong and even severe storms. We're on your side with the possible threats and when we can expect to see the storms move into our area.
And hey, we're not the only one under the threat of inclement weather. We show you who else is dealing with a severe risk tonight.
Plus, we're going to look back at one of the deadliest events to strike Earth in modern history on its 20th anniversary.
Live on your side, First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
Well, check out this photo shared by Twitter user AJ of a tornado-warned storm out of Texas. This was just south of El Campo. The National Weather Service in Houston has 9 counties across southeast Texas under a tornado watch until 7 p.m. And Tania, that is the same system that's going to be moving towards us over the next couple days.
It just goes to show you that it's got some energy with it, and we really need to pay attention as we approach Saturday. So. Yeah. Either way, we're going to get you up to date and really let you know what exactly you need to do to prepare for it. But let's go ahead and talk about the next big thing, because this is it, Lauren.
And that is the next big thing.
This is the next big thing. Listen, we've declared your Saturday a First Alert Weather Day for the threat of not just any storm, but even a severe storm capable of producing isolated tornadoes. So as you approach the weekend, and really right now is the best time to prepare, making sure you have those emergency kits on hand, making sure you can identify what county you live in and the nearest storm shelters. Also, finding that weather radio, you don't need to use it just yet, but make sure it has fresh batteries in case you need it as we approach Saturday. So that's going to be the thing that we're talking most about here in Weather Extra. Again, First Alert Weather Day declared for your Saturday. What exactly are we talking about when we say this? Well, areas with the greatest risk looks like West Alabama, areas west of I-65. We're tracking that greatest severe storm risk for South Lamar, Pickens, Greene, and even Sumter County. That's a level 3 out of 5, an enhanced risk in place by the Storm Prediction Center. Then we have that yellow area here. That's a level 2 out of 5. This is areas that could still see an isolated tornado, but the risk is a little bit lower. But that stretches from parts of Marion, Lamar County down towards Hale County, Perry, Bibb, including Tuscaloosa, and the western portions of Jefferson County, Walker, and the county of Shelby. So you want to make sure, again, all of Central Alabama has a way to receive weather information. Even if you're in East Alabama, although there's a level 1 out of 5 risk, it doesn't mean that you can't see a tornado being formed. So we're going to hold on to the main impacts being a few tornadoes, damaging winds, and maybe even some hail as we approach that severe threat Saturday. Now, you may be like, okay, well, it's dry right now. What will our Friday shape up to be? I keep hearing you talk about a severe risk Saturday. Well, we're actually going to see rain Friday. Matter of fact, overnight into your early Friday morning, we'll see some showers moving through. We're not tracking a severe risk, but there will be some heavy rain and most definitely some gusty winds. I want to make sure that all of you know you need to secure those outdoor Christmas decorations and items to be prepared for any winds gusting up above 20 miles per hour as we approach your Friday. But the next big thing, that severe risk in place for your Saturday. How much rainfall can we see over the next several days in general? Well, maybe 3 inches in some spots, or at least close to it, 2 to 2.5. There could be an isolated flood threat as well. We'll continue to give you updates on what to expect as we approach the weekend, and Lauren Linehan will have a look at that full 7-day in just a bit. So here's a quick reminder that whenever we declare a First Alert Weather Day, it's for a specific reason. Now, why, you may ask? Well, Chief Meteorologist Wes White is going to tell you why and what it means we need to do.
We get to enjoy some beautiful days here in the state of Alabama, but as we know, the weather around here can change quickly with a variety of impactful weather conditions. That is why the WBRC First Alert Weather Team declares First Alert Weather Days. First Alert Weather Days are for weather conditions that threaten your safety and property, but also for weather conditions that impact your plans. When WBRC declares a First Alert Weather Day, the entire news operation becomes an extension of the First Alert Weather Team. This further increases resources to ensure that you are most informed. Plus, with the largest weather team in the Southeast and the most advanced tools and technology, we're able to provide the most detail and precision for any potential threats a First Alert Weather Day may bring. First Alert Weather Days may include the threat for severe storms and tornadoes, but it could be high winds in general, along with the threat for flash flooding and heavy rainfall. There are also the threats of winter weather and extreme cold, and the major changes to extreme heat during the summer. Sometimes a first alert weather day will be declared for impacts to visibility and air quality or weather conditions that may lead to a very high fire danger. When we declare a first alert weather day, you will know. Look for notifications on our social media channels and digital platforms, along with notifications and WBRC programming throughout the day, in addition to WBRC Fox 6 News. Stay informed, stay weather ready, and always prepared by checking in with your First Alert Weather Team. You can learn more about the First Alert Weather Day by visiting WBRC.com.
Well, get this, it's always best to be prepared and remember the tips that you need to take in the event of a severe weather day. Make sure you have your safety kit prepared with you, and it's full of various items from water to food and snacks and maybe even a blanket, a helmet, all of that good stuff. Also, have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Your cell phone might die, so keep that weather radio on hand and don't depend on those outdoor sirens. You want to also make sure you know your place in your house, what county you live in case that area does get an alert or a warning. And this is also important to know. It's important to know where you are in your house, that you can be away from those windows. And most importantly, be prepared and not scared. And you can also scan this QR code on your screen right now to download the First Alert Weather app from either the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. You'll be able to stay up to date on any changes to the forecast and get weather alerts specifically for your area.
Well, Tania, we're not the only ones experiencing severe weather over the coming days. The initial thunderstorms are when the threat of strong tornadoes will be highest. Like mentioned earlier, a tornado watch has been issued for all of southeast Texas and parts of western Louisiana. Hail and damaging winds will be the primary concerns with storms by the time they make it into Louisiana. So let's take a check on that weather that is moving through Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. This is the same storm system that's going to be moving towards us. And you can see it's bringing some heavy rain up into Arkansas, but that severe threat, especially areas farther to the south, where we've actually been seeing some severe thunderstorm and even a tornado warning or two. So we'll zoom in here just east of the Houston metro. Most of the more inclement weather has moved now east of the Houston metro, but we can see along the I-10 corridor there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Jefferson County, Texas. This is getting closer to Beaumont, and it looks like the worst of this is just to the north of I-10, where you've got some heavy rain and intense lightning. We can also see right around that Arklatex region near Bon Weir, you've got a storm producing some heavy rain and some intense lightning as well. And then as we look a little farther to the north, there had actually been a tornado warning that has expired. And what I want you to note is just how much lightning this is producing. So just in this particular radar view, we're seeing about 240 lightning strikes. So these are just very intense storms as they move through. And that severe thunderstorm watch, or tornado watch rather, that we had initially talked about in Texas, that's now been pushed into Louisiana. It's actually been extended now until 2 a.m. Central Time for tomorrow morning. So as Tania was saying, hey, make sure you remember all those severe weather safety tips as we go into our own First Alert Weather Day on Saturday. But hey, today marks 20 years since the deadliest tsunami in history. On December 26, 2004, a 9.1 magnitude earthquake struck off the western coast of the Indonesian island of Sumatra. It triggered massive tsunamis across the Indian Ocean. Giant waves slammed into the coast of 14 countries, killing about, get this, 230,000 people. Countries such as Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, and Thailand were the hardest hit, with entire villages collapsing and being washed away. With no early warning system and minimal sea level data, many were left with little time to escape. 2 decades later, the horror endures for communities who have had to rebuild and families who lost loved ones. Well, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has since ramped up investment in tsunami science. It has deployed buoys to detect seismic events quicker and more accurately. Well, in 30 seconds, we talk about the rain event for your Friday and how we can help the environment after the holidays. We'll be right back.
Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Tania Michelle here. We've been talking on and off about that First Alert Weather Day in effect for your Saturday, but you may have been wondering, what is the timing? I know we're going to see some rain moving throughout the day Friday, but for Saturday, when can I expect that possible tornado or those stronger and even severe storms? Well, we're really looking at majority of the day Saturday, particularly your afternoon, your evening, and really into your Saturday night. That tornado wind and hail threat will be in place for all of central Alabama with that enhanced risk for areas west of I-65. And keep in mind, although this is a conditional risk, you want to make sure that you are well aware and prepared throughout the day Saturday, okay? Making sure you're checking in for updates. Download our First Alert Weather app. We'll be giving updates and sending updates to your mobile device throughout the day so that you can stay up to date with what's happening. Here's a quick look at those weather headlines here for our area. We're seeing increasing rain chances Friday. We're going to be gradually warming up over the next couple of days, but Saturday, that's the day, well, you want to make sure you are extra aware for that possible severe risk. Lauren?
Hey, Tania. Well, you know, as we go forward in time, wrapping your packages, wrapping paper, bags and bows, they can actually fill up trash cans quickly over this season that we've had around Christmas time. Right now, the city of Anniston is actually providing a way for you to throw away your extra garbage for free. The city is providing one roll-off dumpster at 4 different locations around town until December 30th between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Neighbors can throw away their items for free. City official Jackson Hodges says these dumpsters will be emptied throughout the week. He says this is a way to keep the city clean and give back to the community.
There are a few restrictions on what can be dumped. For example, if you have an appliance that has Freon, maybe a refrigerator, you can't put that in there. Keep in mind that things such as paint cans, batteries, Freon appliances, and tires are things that you shouldn't be disposing of in these roll-off dumpsters. The Calhoun County landfill is available.
Again, this free service will end on December 30th. We have more information in this story on our WBRC News app, including where to find those dumpsters.
Check this out. It was a real-life Christmas miracle on Christmas Day. A dog was rescued after being stuck on, get this, some ice for nearly a day on a New Jersey lake. Amanda Eustace has more on the community effort to bring the pup home for the holidays.
There's an expression that says, I don't look like what I've been through.
And for 20-month-old Sheepadoodle Brooklyn, that sure is the case. The pup got loose on Jacksonville Road in Parsippany and ran down the street to Lake Parsippany around 10:30 Christmas Eve morning.
She was out there all day and all night.
Camille Williams was watching Brooklyn for her best friend who was away for the holidays. When she realized Brooklyn wasn't coming off the lake, that's when she called for help.
And the rescue squad was on the ice with a net, trying to push her, onto land. A couple of them fell through.
Some luck started to come when Keyshawn Patel, a neighbor around the lake, and police officers decided to strap a chicken cutlet to a drone to try to get the dog to come back on land.
I know what it means to own a dog, and I can't imagine what the owner was going through, so anything I could do to help. If I was in the same situation, I'd be thankful if someone were helping me like that.
And he wasn't the only one. People throughout the community came to call her name, toss treats, and offer suggestions on how to get her off. Finally, around midnight, Williams says a cop went out onto the lake and was able to force her off. But once her paws hit the land, she took off running again.
I think I finally came in the house like 3 a.m. because we just kept circling and we couldn't find her. There was another sighting around 1 o'clock. And it just went on.
But just when the family thought they were on thin ice, William's son spotted her on a neighbor's porch Christmas morning, finally luring her in after nearly a day on the run, not using a chicken cutlet, but salmon.
Obviously, not being, your dog, you're caring for someone else's. How do you tell them? And we kept updating them, but we just kept praying.
Williams says they ended up taking her to the emergency vet, and other than a small cut on her, all of Brooklyn's tests came back just fine. The pink color on her coat dyed from the leash she had on all night and day in the wet, cold weather. But the biggest shock, not just that she survived the overnight in the cold, but
her middle name is Miracle. Brooklyn Miracle Co. I did not know that until this morning. She's home, at least the home away from home.
How sweet. Well, still ahead, we're going to talk about what we're expecting as we head into 2025. And we're going to talk about how one aviation company is making travel climate friendly. We'll be right back with more First Alert Weather Extra.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan here. Our next big thing, we can see it on First Alert AccuTrack, a storm system off to our west. This is the one we've been tracking that has been warranting a tornado watch and severe thunderstorm watch across parts of East Texas into Louisiana and Arkansas. So that warm front you see associated with it, that's going to be lifting towards us as we get into tomorrow. So finally making it a little bit milder, but also going to be bringing us some rain as we get into your Friday. Looking at First Alert AccuTrack right now, very puny, the little bit of patchy drizzle around, but it's still pretty gloomy outside. Most of us are seeing temperatures holding on in the 50s, down to 49 though in Clanton and 47 in Ashland, but winds will continue to pick up over the next 24 hours. Right now we're seeing winds gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. You can see a 27 mile per hour gust over in Aliceville. So winds will shift a little bit more out of the southeast for tomorrow. That southerly component to the wind going to help to pull in more moisture and help to enhance rain chances. Unfortunately, that does mean for the Birmingham Bowl that kicks off at 2:30 at Protective Stadium tomorrow here in Birmingham as Georgia Tech takes on Vanderbilt. You got to make sure you take the rain gear with you. It does look like we could be seeing some wet weather around game time. Now, as we look at the next few days, here we go into tomorrow morning. You can see that rain going into tomorrow, showing rain to the northwest is going to be pushing to the southeast. This is really looking at Friday morning right now. And so Friday morning is when we're expecting, at least across northwest Alabama, that potential for some rain to move in. So this is something we're going to be keeping a close eye on. Here we go Friday at 1 o'clock, still showing the potential for some heavy rain along that I-20-59 corridor. Now, as far as the severe risk tomorrow, if we were to see a strong storm, that best chance would be in west central Alabama. We're talking areas like Sumter County, Greene County, Hill County. But I think for most of us, the main threat tomorrow is going to be wind and some wet weather. Now here we are at 11 o'clock on Friday, showing things beginning to fizzle out. The question is, could we see some rain earlier in the day on Saturday that could help to limit that severe threat Saturday night? Right now, not looking overly promising, but here we are. This is one model that's beginning to speed up that storm potential. Most of the guidance, though, is showing storms holding off until the evening. So it's something we're going to be watching closely. All of them, though, do push the rain out of here by Sunday morning. So it's especially Saturday evening that we're looking at that main window for a severe threat. And then tapering off Sunday, dry Monday. Looking at New Year's Eve, we do have that possibility for a few showers before 2025 rings in on Wednesday, bringing in some colder weather. And on that note, the possibility of some colder weather going into the new year takes us beyond the 7-day with meteorologist Tania Michelle. Ooh, fancy, Tania.
Listen, hey, people are getting excited about these milder conditions, but you see what it brings us.
Yeah.
Storms.
Yes.
So drop those temps a little bit, let's drop them a little bit. We don't want the warm fronts.
No, we don't, but they're coming.
They are coming. But the good thing is, for those of us that want it to be a little cold bringing in the new year, well, your wish is being granted. As we look into early 2025, January 4th through the 17th, much of the U.S. dealing with below average temperatures. Now, does that mean snow here just yet? No, not looking very likely, but we will be seeing possibly near freezing temperatures by later into next week. So let's take another look here at our temperature outlook. This is January 3rd through the 9th, and you can see even this just slightly before the 17th still showing the East Coast, the Midwest with below average conditions. The only areas that might be a little bit warmer than normal will be areas to the West Coast, including Texas, New Mexico, Arizona over there. But the Southeast may be looking a lot cooler as we bring in the first few days of January. And we move forward to rain. Here's our precipitation outlook, January 3rd through January 9th. A good mix across the U.S., anywhere from above average to areas to the north and Pacific Northwest, including the state of Washington. But most states slightly below average or near average. And near average rainfall includes us right here across central Alabama. But get this, an aviation company in Arizona says it is the first to accomplish a certain status, one that is very proud of. It's now certified. It's now certified as climate neutral. Ashley DeMenteranino has the details.
Chandler-based AVAIR has been a staple in the community for 25 years.
We're a commercial aircraft parts distributor.
Working with every major airline, the company saw the steps the airline industry was taking to be green, but knew more needed to be done.
There's nobody really doing it in our segment of the industry, which is the aftermarket parts.
Starting with solar, the next progression in becoming sustainable, AVAIR teamed up with Waste Management to find out just how big the company's carbon footprint was.
Waste disposal, the products we use, going to a more sustainable product with, cardboard boxes, or even our facilities people. So even the cleaning crew that comes in here, I met with them, get them using sustainable products.
Installing 12 EV charging stations, placing water stations on each floor, and recycling anything and everything that comes through their doors, eliminating 7,000 tons of carbon emissions in their first year alone.
So I hope that's inspiring to other people in our space, that you can run a sustainability program while also rapidly growing your business.
The climate neutral certification means that AVAIR demonstrated immediate action on climate change, putting plans in place and leading the way for other companies.
Being the first in our segment of the industry, I think, is huge for us. It was great to accomplish that.
Perfect. I can do it.
What'd he say?
Bell Media.
Oh, okay.
Well, well, well.
Well, Tania, we have got another severe weather threat on the way. Honestly, it's been a while since we've seen
It has
severe
been
weather.
a while. That's why we got to take it seriously.
Exactly.
No matter what. All central Alabama counties check in for updates.
Yes.
Have your mobile devices charged, that weather radio.
Yep, and this will be on Saturday. In the meantime, Tania will have updates tonight starting at first at 9.
Have a good evening.